Good Monday morning, everyone, and it is 10:10 a.m., which means it is time for another episode of Instant Replay, North Georgia's only live online sports show. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, and thank you all for joining us today here on the show. We have had a lot happen this past week with fall sports in the area that we cover here at Team FYN Sports, from football to softball to volleyball, and we are ready to break all of that down for you here this morning. But before we go any further, I want to go ahead and give you all direction to how to reach our social media and other information on how to contact us in case you would like to do that, just so that you know how to get updates from us throughout the rest of the week. Now, if you're watching this show live, you are already on our Facebook page. It is Team FYN Sports. So whenever we go to break or you get a chance after the show, go ahead and give that a like, because that's where we do most of our updates, where we post coaches' interviews, pictures after the game, score updates, game recaps, all sorts of great things. So you'll definitely want to give that a like. And then also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Team FYN Sports, or the handles on both of those. And then we also do plenty of updates as well on those platforms. And then also, if you go over to our YouTube channel, FYN TV Fetch Your News, you can click subscribe to that and be up to date on all of the other multimedia interviews, coaches interviews, and different things that we do on there. And then if you have maybe a special athlete or your favorite team that you want to give a shout out to, you can always shoot us an email. That email there at the bottom, teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. We love to hear from you, and we may even share that information if it's a shout out on the show. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down this week in sports. And we're going to start off with football. Like I mentioned last week, we are changing up our lineup a little bit. Instead of going county by county, we're going to go sport by sport. I really like the way that flows, and I know some of you also said that you like that better. So that's what we're going to stick with. And we're going to kick it off with White County football. And starting with White County, the Warriors unfortunately fell in their game Friday night 42-28 against the Habersham Central Raiders. But as our sideline reporter Carson Finley wrote, the Warriors put up a valiant effort. Habersham Central broke out with an early lead during their first offensive drive, with the first of two rushing touchdowns by quarterback Wright Woodruff. Carson reported that the Raiders also played great defensively and posed a challenge for the Warriors. The Warriors also struggled with penalties during the first half. There were a couple of bright spots, though. Nick Burkett for the Warriors had a great interception to fire up the Warriors sideline, and the offense started to come to life to end the first half. Coming out of the half, the Warriors scored a touchdown early on with a pass from quarterback J-Ben Haynes to Toby Turner. Then Riley Stansel came in to take over as running back for Zion McMullen, and as Carson put it, became an immediate threat in both the running and passing game. Haynes scored another touchdown halfway through the third quarter to make the score 27-13 Raiders, and Haynes threw another touchdown pass in the third quarter, this time to Burkett. Haynes played a great game overall with 3 converted fourth downs in the fourth quarter. The final conversion was for a running touchdown. And unfortunately, the Warriors couldn't pull ahead even with a great effort on the field. But that's okay. It's only week 3 of football, so there's still plenty of football left to be played. They will, however, face a tough opponent this coming Friday, the Pickens Dragons. So our very own RJ Casey and Carson Finley will be together on the sidelines to bring you updates on this game. So we're definitely looking forward not only to this game, but also the updates that we'll get from RJ and from Carson, who both do an awesome job here at Team FYN Sports, and we appreciate them. Now, before we leave off with the Warriors, we want to give a shout out to our Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for the Warriors, which was quarterback J-Ben Haynes. You've heard about his incredible performance during this game recap. So this award is well deserved, and we want to say congratulations to Mr. Haynes over there in White County Warriors territory. Now, everyone, I want to remind you that I've just been going over some highlights from this game provided to us by Carson in his game recap. But you can go online to our website as www.fetchyournews.com. And when you get to the homepage, you'll see all of our counties that we cover listed across the top. And then you can click on White County or whichever county you're looking for, and it will take you to that county's main page. And then you can select Team FYN Sports, and you will find full game recaps, listed there under our Team FYN Sports tab. So also we have Player of the Week articles under that tab, and we upload pictures from the game to our Facebook page that I talked about a little bit ago, Team FYN Sports. It's where this show is also broadcasting live. So definitely whenever you get a chance, go check all of that out because we put up great stuff every Friday night and then also throughout the week with all their fall sports as well. So stuff that you definitely do not want to miss. Now we're going to move right along into Dawson County, and this is normally a time when I would give a recap of the Dawson County Tigers, but alas, they had a bye week this past Friday, but no worries, we will be back same time, same place next Monday for a recap of their game against West Hall, brought to us by our awesome sideline reporter for the Dawson County Tigers, which is Mr. Noah Rubin. And Noah does a great job over there on the sideline for the Dawson County Tigers games. We really appreciate everything that he does for us, and so he will definitely be bringing us a great game recap and more pictures like the one you're seeing there in the screen that he takes for us at the game. And then also definitely go follow us on social media for more updates about that, so you're getting score updates throughout the game from Noah. All right, so we're going to continue right along, and now we're moving on into Lumpkin County. And it's time for a recap of the Lumpkin County Indians game last Friday night. And the Indians traveled to Jackson County and fell to the Panthers in a tough loss, 31-0. The Indians had several things go right and played a hard game that, despite the distance from their home in Dahlonega, still had a great number of fans in attendance. So one bright spot in this is, I just want to say, to encourage this team that no matter what, you will always have diehard Indians fans there to support you, even on the road game. That's at least an hour away from Dahlonega in Jackson County. But among the plays that went right for the Indians were a forced fumble by the Panthers and recovered by Lumpkin County earlier in the game. Unfortunately, the Indians fumbled shortly after and returned possession to the Panthers. The Panthers scored on their next drive, and even though the extra point attempt was the extra point attempt, I'm sorry, I lost my spot for a second. Even though the extra point attempt was no good, a bad snap by the Indians was recovered in the end zone to score a safety for the Panthers. The Indians fought all night to move the ball downfield and succeeded in most drives. However, they were never quite able to get it into the end zone to score that night. And the highlight of the night was really for the Indians' defense in the second half of the game and how well they played holding the Panthers back from scoring anymore. The Panthers went into the half with a 28-0 lead but came back out and were only able to score a field goal because of the great game played by the Lumpkin County defense, and the Panthers were consistently contained by the Lumpkin County defense, which that is a good segue into our Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for Lumpkin County, number 16, Ethan Klein. Ethan was a pivotal part of that Indians defense I just talked about, and he was among the top on the team for most tackles for the Lumpkin County Indians defense. So congratulations, Ethan. Definitely with all our Player of the Weeks, and as we go through, we're going to be reading off who was named Player of the Week for each team. Definitely each of these rewards are well deserved because of the great game that these young men are going out and playing. And we just love, here at Team FYN Sports, we're always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way. And I mean, it's so easy to do when these athletes go out and play such a great game consistently. Sometimes we get out there and it's hard to pick just one person because of how great all of these teams have been playing and how much work they are putting in on the field, including the Lumpkin County Indians. This coming Friday, the Indians will be back at home and have the home field advantage as they host the Gilmer Bobcats. That means you all will get double the coverage from Team FYN Sports, as myself and our Gilmer sideline reporter, Richie Stone, will be there to bring you updates throughout the game, and then, of course, a game recap after the game. So definitely, again, follow us on social media so you can stay up to date with all of these game recaps as we're going along, because you don't want to miss anything that we're putting up here at Team FYN Sports, where we are also hashtag all over it. That's what we like to say here at Team FYN Sports. We're highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and we are hashtag all over it. So now we're going to go ahead and move into Pickens territory a little bit before we go into our first break. It was a tough night for the Dragons as they traveled to Lindale to face the Pepperell Dragons for the Battle of the Dragons, as it's came to be known. And unfortunately, the Pickens Dragons fell 34-20 in this game. Now, interesting fact about this series, this matchup dates back to 1958 and was the first time Pickens, and this game was the first time Pickens had gone to Lindell for the game since 1985. I always like to share interesting facts like that whenever we see them, whenever they pop up in our articles and pop up for our games. And I want to say thank you to our sideline reporter, RJ Casey, for always doing such a great job and for providing us with great information like that. But back to the actual game recap, the first quarter was really a display of defensive strength for both teams. Pickens tried to drive and was stopped. Then Pepperell tried to score and was also stopped. And then the scoring began in the second quarter. Pepperell started it off with a 25-yard touchdown pass with 8:57 left in the second quarter. Pickens answered with their own touchdown pass, a 69-yard completed pass from quarterback C.J. Stryker to Jared Whitmore. Unfortunately, the Pickens extra point attempt was no good, and Pepperell took the lead. On the returning kickoff, Pepperell scored again with a 31-yard touchdown run to hold the lead at 13-6. Stryker threw another pass, this time to Michael Hand, then finished off with a 2-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 13 points each. However, Pepperell got another touchdown at the end of the half to take a lead of 20-13 at the half. Now, coming out of the half, Pepperell scored twice in the third quarter to extend their lead 34-13. In the fourth quarter, Pickens scored again with a touchdown pass from Stryker to Whitmore, and that was the final touchdown of the game with a final score of 34-20, the Pepperell Dragons. Now, the Pickens Dragons will look for a win this coming Friday as they head to Cleveland to take on the White County Warriors. This should be a good game to watch as it will be the 45th time the two teams have met up to play. Pickens defeated the Warriors twice last season, once in regular season and once in playoffs, but the Warriors still hold an overall series lead at 22-20-2. So definitely will be a pretty good game to watch between these two great teams that have been playing consistently well over the last season and this season as well. Now, before we leave off of the Dragons, we want to do a couple of things. First, we want to give a shout out to our Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for Pickens, which is Jared Whitmore. Jared scored 2 long touchdowns in the game against Pepperell, which you've heard about in the game recap that I've been giving. So congratulations go out to Jared for winning this prestigious award. Second, we want to remind everyone about our sports show, Pickens Power Half Hour, that broadcasts live every Tuesday evening, unless it's after a bye week, of course, because then we don't have anything to talk about. But I want to remind everyone that instead of broadcasting live on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page like this one is, we'll be broadcasting on FYNTV.com. So definitely want to give you all a heads up about that so you don't go looking in the wrong place. But you won't want to miss the show. Dave Garner will be on there hosting, and he has Coach Jeff Nelson, head coach of the Pickens Dragons, and then he always gets an assistant coach and then about 4 players from the Pickens Dragons teams to get on there and to talk about the game from the previous week and what they're also working on for this coming week. So definitely a good show. Dave always does a great job, and it's great to see the guys on there with him as well. So definitely don't want to miss out on that. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the show. And when we come back, we'll be continuing on with our football coverage from this week with Gilmer, Fannin, and more. So definitely stick around for that. And we'll be right back here for more of Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Welcome back, everyone, and good morning. Welcome to another episode of Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter, and thank you so much for joining us here today, whether you're joining us live or you're tuning in with us later on in the day. We appreciate you watching us here on Instant Replay and at Team FYN Sports. Now, when I come back from break, I always like to go back over our social media information, and the reason I do that is because I want to let you know where you can get updates from us throughout the week. And you can do that on our Facebook page at Team FYN Sports, which if you're watching this show live, that's where you're at right now. So go ahead and give us a like there. And then also you can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Team FYN Sports. And then also we upload a lot of our coaches' interviews, actually all of our coaches' interviews, to our YouTube channel, which is FYN TV, Fetch Your News. And then we also upload some other great multimedia highlights and different things like that on there as well. So definitely go and subscribe to that so you don't miss out on any of our other great stuff. And then if you have a special athlete or your favorite team that you want to give a shout out to, as they're all out there working so hard this season, go ahead and shoot us an email there. It's teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com, and you may even get featured on the show. You never know. So definitely go ahead and shoot us an email whenever you get a chance if you want to. So before we went to break, I said that we're going to finish up with our football recap, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to kick it off with the Gilmer Bobcats. And congratulations to the Gilmer Bobcats. They had a big night Friday night as they pulled out another win, 6-3 over the Gordon Central Warriors. It was a hard-fought victory for the Bobcats as they spent the better part of the first half on one drive that finally got them inside the 5-yard line. A combination of Kobe Stonecipher, Ashton White, Gray McClure, and Spencer Smith helped to break down the Warriors' defense. Finally, Smith was able to punch it in for the first and only touchdown of the night. The Warriors fought back to get the ball in the end zone, but thanks to the Gilmer defense, were unsuccessful. Their only score of the night was a field goal before going into the half. Gilmer forced Gordon Central into a quick 3-and-out to open the third quarter. The Bobcats went on another long drive that took 10 minutes off the clock and ended with what our sideline reporter Richie Stone referred to as possibly the biggest play of the night, a punt from Seth Darling to put the Warriors within their own 10-yard line, starting off their next drive. The Bobcats defense took care of business for the rest of the game and held the Warriors back to end the game with the 6-3 victory. Gilmer is now 2-1 on their season, and we want to say again here at Team FYN Sports, congratulations to these guys. We are so proud of you. We wish you all the best of luck for the rest of your season. And the Bobcats are actually going to travel to Dahlonega, like we mentioned earlier, to play the Lumpkin Lumpkin County Indians at home, or at the Indians' home on Friday night. And like I also mentioned earlier, Richie and I will both be there on the sideline, he on the Gilmer sideline and me on the Lumpkin County sideline, to bring you score updates and game recaps. So definitely go follow us on that social media I talked about, because you don't want to miss. This should be a good game as well. You don't want to miss this one either. Now, I also want to remind you all that we will pick back up with Gilmer Turf Talk tonight at 7 p.m. This show is all about Gilmer football and will feature Coach Kevin Saunders and members of the Gilmer Bobcats football team. Bobcats fans, you won't want to miss this show. Richie is going to be hosting, and he does an awesome job. Show starts at 7 p.m. right here on the Team FYN Sports Facebook page. Now, also, before we close it out with our Gilmer Bobcats football update, we want to give a shout out to our Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for the Gilmer Bobcats, which was punter Seth Darling. Seth had 2 great punts throughout the game against Gordon Central that forced the Warriors to begin their drives deep in their own territory. So, good job, Seth. Congratulations to you for being named this week's Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for the Gilmer Bobcats. Now we're going to move on over into FYN Rebels updates. And Rebels fans, you already know that the Rebels had a bye week this past Friday, which gave the guys plenty of time to rest up for their big game this Friday night against the Union County Panthers. A lot of big games this coming Friday, y'all. You definitely want to stay tuned with us, stay up to date with us, because you don't want to miss any of these games. This is another big game that you don't want to miss out on. And Team FYN sports reporters James Wolf and Reagan Young will both be there to bring you updates. James will be on the Union County sideline, and Reagan will be on the FYN sideline. So you definitely will want to stay tuned in and be aware of these score updates. Team FYN Sports is always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and we are also hashtag all over it. While we have been talking about sports shows, I want to remind everyone that we will not be having an episode of Rebel Wrap Up this week because of their bye week last week, but we will pick back up on the show, or pick back up with the show next Wednesday to recap the game against the Union County Panthers. Again, a big game. 2 great teams there between the Union County Panthers and the FYN County Rebels. So you definitely will want to stay up to date with everything that we're doing here at Team FYN Sports. Now, speaking of the Union County Panthers, we're going to go on into their football recap from this weekend. And the Union County Panthers earned a big win over the Towns County Indians on Friday night, winning the game by a score of 60-7. The Panthers were led by senior quarterback Pearson Allison, who went 5 for 7 for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns passing and 31 yards with 1 touchdown rushing. Sophomore quarterback Logan Helcher also played a great game, coming in for Allison late in the first half. Helcher completed a touchdown pass to sophomore Dalton Allen for a touchdown, and along with that passing touchdown, earned a rushing touchdown of his own. Junior Jonah Daniel carried the ball 3 times for the Panthers for 63 yards. Seniors Kyle Morlock and Sawyer Drake, along with junior Mason McCombs, each caught touchdowns from Allison in the first half. Senior Zion Ross and Sloan Sutton, along with junior Caston Hempville, added a tackle on defense for loss of yardage. Congratulations to the Panthers on their big win this past weekend, and also congratulations to Mason McCombs for being named this week's Team FYN Sports Writers Player of the Week for the Union County Panthers. Mason went 6 for 6 on extra point attempts and also caught a touchdown for the Panthers on Friday night. The touchdown catch was his first of his varsity career, so it was an extra special night for Mason over there at the Union County game against the Towns County Indians. Congratulations, Mason. That is awesome. We are so excited and proud of you. I know that had to be awesome. You know, your first varsity game, you get to score a touchdown pass. So, again, a well-deserved award for Mason McCombs over there with the Union County Panthers. As I mentioned again earlier, I can't hype this up enough. There will be a big game in Blue Ridge this weekend as the Panthers travel down from Blairsville to play the FYN County Rebels. This game has become a rivalry game over the years, and so again, a game that you don't want to miss. I believe the Panthers have won this game every year for the past 5 years, so no doubt the Rebels are going to be coming out looking for a win against this rival. Team FYN Sports will be there to bring you updates from both sidelines, and throughout the game we will be posting on Twitter to give you a score-by-score update. And then also we'll feature like pictures and maybe some coaches interviews and things like that on our Facebook page, and then also on our other social media handles as well. So you want to give those a follow so you don't miss out on any of this. Also, I am excited to announce that tonight at 6:30 p.m. we will be broadcasting Panther Playback, our sports show dedicated to the Union County Panthers football team, right here on Team FYN Sports Facebook page. I will be hosting this show myself, and we will have head coach Brian Allison on the show, along with some of the guys from the Union County Panthers football team. So Panthers fans, this is your show, and you will not want to miss out on it, because you will no doubt want to be hearing about what the Panthers plan to do this week against the FYN Rebels, who are so far 2-0 on their season. So great things happening here at Team FYN Sports. We are so excited to be bringing you these weekly updates. I want to say again how excited I am and proud of our sports team, and I want to give them a shout out real quick while I'm thinking about it. We have Richie Stone and Gilmer, Reagan Young and Fannin, RJ Casey and Pickens, Noah Rubin and Dawson, Carson Finley and White County, and then, of course, myself and Lumpkin County, but no need to thank myself. But I want to say thank you to these guys for the awesome job that they're doing, bringing us these updates every week that they have games. And then also, as we're going to be talking about here in a minute, we get a special report each weekend from the voice of the Murphy Bulldogs himself, Mr. J.R. Carroll. So I want to go ahead and share this information on the show for all of our Bulldogs and Smoky Mountain Conference fans out there. The Bulldogs went on a long trip down to Sugar Hill, Georgia this past Friday, to take on the Georgia Force Christian team, but it was a worthwhile 40-9 final score victory for the Bulldogs. Now, the Dogs started off with a display of both their defensive and offensive strengths. The Force got first possession and was forced into a 3-and-out by the Bulldogs, but the Dogs took the ball and ran with it, literally, as Devontae Murray took a handoff from quarterback Kellen Rumfelt for an 80-yard touchdown run. This was also for Mr. Murray after shedding 3 tacklers. Just want to throw that out there. Justice Dorsey broke loose for the Bulldogs during their next possession and took the ball all the way down the field, 76 yards for their second Bulldog touchdown. Ray Rathburn got the third Bulldog touchdown of the night, punching it in for 6 yards. The Force had a big moment with an interception on their 24-yard line, but were stopped by that awesome Bulldogs defense around their 49-yard line. The Force caught another break by recovering a fumble by the Bulldogs, but were held to kicking a field goal, making the score 20-3 Bulldogs. The Rumfelt-Murray duo connected again after Rumfelt whirled out from the 5-yard line and completed a pass to Murray for another touchdown. The Bulldogs went into the half with a 26-3 lead and capped off a drive coming out of the half with Murray's third touchdown of the night, this one a 3-yard rush. The extra point by kicker Luke Ritz was good, and the Bulldogs led 33-3. Neither team scored for the remainder of the third quarter, but the younger members of the Bulldogs roster were able to get in some playing time. This was especially true for sophomore Chandler Wood, who scored the final touchdown of the night for Murphy. The Force got their first and only touchdown late in the fourth quarter after a 72-yard run and score by Stacy Walker. The final score of the night, as we mentioned earlier, was 40-9 for the Murphy Bulldogs. Now, this report was brought to us by J.R. Carroll, the voice of the Murphy Bulldogs, and everyone here at Team FYN Sports is excited to announce our NC Sports Report Smoky Mountain Conference Report every Thursday night, hosted by JR and also the voice of the Andrews Wildcats, Mr. Scott Fletcher. And they will be at it again this Thursday night, same time, same place, broadcasting live from Circuit World in Murphy, North Carolina. And it will be here on our Team FYN Sports Facebook page, broadcasting live. And then, of course, also we will upload it later to our YouTube channel, as we do with all of our sports show here at Team FYN Sports. Now, even more exciting, JR and Scott will have a very special caller calling in this week, and I'm just going to drop that little teaser in there. So definitely keep an eye out on the rest of our social media for more updates and hints on who that will be. And let me just say, this is a big caller, big name calling in. And if you just want a hint for it, I will say that the Murphy Bulldogs are playing Life Christian this coming Friday night. So any of you that are connected to the Smoky Mountain Conference and know anything about Life Christian also know who plays on that Life Christian team. So that'll probably give you a pretty good hint there. So definitely stay tuned with us here on Team FYN Sports as we give more announcements and updates throughout the week of what all we have going on here. We are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and we are also hashtag all over it, doing our best to bring you updates from around North Georgia for our local high school sports teams. So we're going to go ahead and take our second break of the show, and when we come back, we're wrapping up our high school football breakdown for this week in sports, but we're not leaving off of football completely quite yet, as we're going to give you some score updates from the Mountain Football League as they kicked off their season this past season. So definitely stick around for score updates on that. And then we will also wrap up our show with score updates from softball and volleyball teams. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Instant Replay. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer savings are too hot to touch at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper. And every Chevy truck has a red hot price, like new Colorado Crew Cabs, over $6,500 off, or new Silverado Crew Cabs, over $11,000 off. You won't find a hotter deal on a new Chevy truck anywhere else in Georgia. The summer savings event going on right now at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Dave's Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Welcome back, everyone, and I hope that you are all having a great Monday morning this morning. It was a beautiful day. The last time I checked, I walked outside this morning. It was actually a little chilly, and I thought, ooh, great, fall is on its way. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little bit tired of the heat, and especially with all of our fall sports in full swing here at Team FYN Sports. I am even more excited for the crisp weather. No, I'm sorry, Lonnie. I'm probably confused you a little bit, but I did want to come back with that social media card because I wanted to give everyone direction once more for those who may just now be tuning in for how to follow us to get updates throughout the week on social media. So our primary outlet is Facebook. That's where we post all of our game recaps. We'll share interviews on there that we get post-game with the coaches, pictures, score updates, the whole 9 yards. To use my football reference for the day, that's probably my favorite football reference. So definitely go and give that page a like. Now, if you're watching this show live right now, then you're already on the page. So, I mean, you might as well go ahead and go like it, right? But anyway, give that a like whenever you get the chance. And then also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram at Team F1 Sports on both of those platforms. Now, on Twitter, we live tweet all of the score updates throughout the games, and there's several big games coming up here in North Georgia and here at Team F1 Sports this weekend. So you'll definitely, if you're big into North Georgia football like we are here at Team F1 Sports, you'll definitely want to follow us because we're going to be providing all the updates this week from those games. Now also, after we broadcast this show live, we always upload it to our YouTube channel, which is FYN TV, Fetch Your News. So definitely go and find that, and then you can subscribe to that as well so you get notifications about every Monday morning when we upload the video to YouTube, and you can go back and watch all those updates and get your fix for North Georgia sports from this past week. Now, also, I always like to say that if you have a favorite athlete or maybe you want to give a shout out to your team that's out there working hard this week, go ahead and shoot us an email there, and it's teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. We check that regularly, and so we may even include your shout out on the show to also even highlight and promote these young athletes in a positive way, even more than we already do. Now, we're going to move on into a little bit of updates from the Mountain Football League this weekend where they began their season. Now, we wrapped up our high school football breakdown in our last segment before we went to break, so definitely if you missed that, don't worry. Like I said, we upload it to YouTube after we get done with the show, so definitely go and check that out afterwards if you want to watch for updates about high school sports, high school football here in North Georgia. Now, to continue on with the Mountain Football League, before we move away from football completely, I want to give a shout out to the teams who won during the first week of the Mountain Football League season. For those of you who didn't tune in last week, on Thursday, I actually hosted a Mountain Football League preview show, which you can now find again on our YouTube channel, FYN TV. Veteran News, so you'll want to go and check that out. We had a lot of views on that, so I want to say thank you to everyone who went and watched that. We greatly appreciate it and glad that you're enjoying our stuff. We at Team FYN Sports are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and we do that across the board from high school to our youth leagues, and we do all sorts of stuff because these young athletes definitely deserve it for all of the hard work that they are putting in. And we're going to talk about that a little bit here when we're going through our MFL breakdown from this past week. In the 6U group, this is probably, and what I love about the 6U group is this may have been possibly their first game ever playing football because they're a 6U. They're the youngest group. So really exciting times for them as well. And in the 6U group, the Fannin team, the East Hall team, the Lumpkin team, and the Chestatee team won their games. The first three are tied for first place in their age group for league standings. Now, the Chestatee-Gilmer game was a bonus game for these guys, so it doesn't count towards league standings, but it will when they play later on in the season. Now, in the 7U group, Pickens, Chestatee, and East Hall each won their games. They are now tied for first place in their league division. In the 8U group, Fannin and Pickens won their games, so of course they are tied for first in their age group. In the 9U group, Union, Gilmer, White, and Fannin won their games, so they are tied for first place in league standings in their age group. In the 10U group, White, Fannin, Union, and Chestatee won their games, so they are in the top four for their league standings in their age group, tied for first. Finally, in the 11U group, Pickens, Lumpkin, and Dawson won their games, and they are now tied for first in league standings for their age group. So I want to give a shout out again, say congratulations to these guys who won their games for the kickoff of the Mountain Football League season. There is still plenty of Mountain Football League games to be played each week until November 9th, when it all comes to a close with the Super Bowl. And now Team FYN Sports, we have been broadcasting some of these games in the past, so definitely keep an eye out to see if we will be broadcasting any more of these games. Now, of course, I can go ahead and announce that we will be broadcasting the Super Bowl on November 9th, and that is always a great time. It's my first season personally here with Team FYN Sports, but from what I've heard, it is a fun time, and I am very excited to be here and to be highlighting and promoting these young athletes as they play in possibly their first season ever of football. I love football season. I love the weather. I love the game. I love everything about it. So congratulations again to all of these that won in their first game for the Mountain Football League season, and definitely stay tuned with us as we bring you more updates on that. And then also as we announce whether or not we will be broadcasting some of those games over the course of the season. Now, we are going to finish up this show with softball and volleyball updates. We can't forget these hardworking young ladies. And we're going to kick it off with softball over in White County. The White County Lady Warriors softball team fell in both games of a 2-game series to the Denmark Danes. However, these ladies will have plenty of chances to redeem themselves with games this week against Lumpkin County, North Hall, and Dawson County. So best of luck to these young women as they continue their season. Now, over in Dawson County, the Dawson County Tigers softball team also had a tough week this past week with losses to Rabun County and East Hall. This week, they will have a chance to bounce back against White County before facing Chestatee and Cherokee Bluff next week. Now, over in Lumpkin County, the Lumpkin County Lady Indians softball team started last week off with a win against Union County. Unfortunately, they fell short later in the week against tough opponents Oconee County and Locust Grove. But I personally have been following this team some throughout the season, and I know they still have great things ahead from them. This is a great group of talented young women, so I'm sure they are going to continue to pull some W's throughout the rest of the season. They will host White County this week before hitting the road to face region opponent East Hall, and a good team there over in East Hall. So the Lumpkin County Lady Indians will have a tough game, but again, I've watched this team. I know they can play hard, so excited and looking forward to how that game turns out. Now, over in Pickens, the Lady Nets of Pickens High School fell short this week in games against Northwest Whitfield and Heritage. They will host Lafayette on Tuesday and Southeast Whitfield on Thursday. So good luck to the Lady Nets, also another team I have watched, and a hardworking team over there. Good team, great talent over there for the Lady Nets. So looking forward to hearing more about these games as well. Now over in Gilmer, the Gilmer Bobcats softball team split their week 1-1 with a win against Southeast Whitfield County and then a loss against North Gwinnett. They will face Ridgeland and Lafayette this week. Good luck to the ladies of the Gilmer Bobcats softball team as they continue their season. Over in Fannin County, the Lady Rebels softball team emerged victorious over the Johnson Knights this week, but fell short against Greater Atlanta Christian and Towns County. Our very own sports reporter Reagan Young was at the game against GAC, and it was their pink out game to bring awareness to breast cancer. So definitely go and check out that game recap. That's the picture that you're seeing there in the screen is from this game that Reagan was able to capture. So go and check out this full game recap. Unfortunately, we don't really have time to share the full game recap here on the show today, but definitely you'll want to go and check that out because Reagan does a great job covering softball, covering the Lady Rebels softball team whenever she gets a chance. And that game recap is on our website, veterannews.com. Go to the top, click on Fannin, then click on Team FYN Sports from the Fannin homepage, and you can find this game recap there as well as all of the other game recaps that Reagan does for us. And the same is across the board for all of our other counties as well if you want to find full game recaps, Player of the Week articles, and more. So to wrap it up with softball over in Union County, the ladies of the Union County softball team split their week 1-1 with a loss against Lumpkin County, then bouncing back for a win against Social Circle. They have games this week against Banks County, Oglethorpe County, Heard County, and Noonan. So good luck to these ladies as they continue to play their season. Union County softball fans, you'll want to keep an eye out for our Union sports reporter James Wolf as he's traveling around and covering Union County sports up there in Blairsville and wherever they travel to as well. He has been going to several of the softball games, volleyball games. He's even been catching some of the middle school games. So definitely keep an eye out on our Facebook page, on our social media, and then also on our website for awesome pictures like the one you see on the screen from James, and then full game recaps and more. So before we finish up with volleyball and wrap up our episode of Instant Replay today, we're going to go ahead and take one more break. And when we come back, like I said, we'll be wrapping up with volleyball and finishing up our fall sports breakdown for this week on Instant Replay. So don't go anywhere. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter.
At Ingalls, we have a very special family. A family of farmers, ranchers, and dairymen. Clerks, butchers, and bakers. Deli workers, pharmacists, and florists. We work hard every day to bring you the very best. And we'll continue to wake up every morning and work as hard as you do. This is our town, and we built this community together. Ingalls, your neighbor for over 50 years.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
The summer savings are too hot to touch at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper. And every Chevy truck has a red hot price, like new Colorado Crew Cabs, over $6,500 off, or new Silverado Crew Cabs, over $11,000 off. You won't find a hotter deal on a new Chevy truck anywhere else in Georgia. The summer savings event going on right now at Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN 10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Hi everyone, Dave Garner here. You might know me as a regular contributor to Team FYN Sports and the Instant Replay, but did you know I'm also your local Woodman Life representative? My job is to make sure that families are protected through needs-based life insurance and retirement. I want to make sure that you leave your loved ones with memories, not expenses. Call me today to find out how I can help you to not outlive your money and that your money outlives you. Woodman Life, standing strong for generations.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to our final section of Instant Replay. Thank you all for tuning in and joining with us today on this episode as we've been breaking down high school fall sports, everything from football to volleyball, or we're about to go into volleyball, softball, and we also did a little bit of a recap of the Mountain Football League from their season kicking off this past Saturday. So thank you again for tuning in with us. It is a beautiful Monday morning, which brings us the promise of finally some cooler weather. I mean, this time of year when we're talking about fall sports, we want it to be like the picture right there. We want it to be the beautiful reds and the oranges and everything, and it's still been hot. So when I walked outside my house this morning and it was kind of chilly, I got really excited. So hopefully we get some cooler weather in here soon. And we're going to wrap up our Instant Replay show today with some volleyball recaps from this week. And we're going to kick it off with White County. The White County volleyball team defeated Flyer Branch earlier in the week, last week, then fell short of Dawson County and Habersham Central. They will take on Marist, West Hall, East Hall, and Union County this coming week. We want to wish these ladies the best of luck as they continue their season with volleyball. Now, over in Dawson County, the volleyball team split their week 1-1 with a loss against Habersham Habersham Central early in the week, then bouncing back with a victory against White County. We love that. A good bounce back. This week, they're up against region opponents East Hall and Fannin. So good luck to these athletes as they take on these teams in region play. Now, over in Lumpkin County, the Lumpkin County volleyball team lost games to Union, Gainesville, and Tallulah Falls last week, but they will have chances to redeem themselves this week as they play in matches against Union and Habersham Central. So good luck to these ladies over in Lumpkin County. In Pickens, the ladies of the Pickens volleyball team played hard last week, but came up short in sets to Fannin and Cherokee. These ladies will take on Southeast Whitfield, Northwest Whitfield, and have a chance at a rematch with Cherokee this coming week. So good luck to the ladies over there in Jasper from the Pickens County volleyball team as well. Now in Gilmer, the Gilmer volleyball team fell in games to Providence Christian Academy and Lakeview Academy this past week. This coming week, they will play Lafayette and Lakeview Academy again. So a good shot at a rematch there. Now in Fannin this past week, the ladies of the Fannin volleyball team won in a game against Pickens. Unfortunately, they came up short in games against Cherokee, Dalton, Lakeview, Fort Oglethorpe, and Ringgold. This coming week, they will have a shot at region opponents Dawson County and East Hall, along with Calhoun and Rockmart. So good luck to these ladies as they continue their season over there in Fannin County. And finally, to wrap up our volleyball recap in Union County, we'll wrap up the show with the recap from them over there, the ladies of the volleyball team from Union County. This past week, they split their record 1-1 with a win against Lumpkin County before coming up short of Prince Avenue Christian. This coming week, these ladies will take on Hayesville, Lumpkin County again, White County, and East Hall. So we want to wish them good luck this week and then, of course, throughout the rest of the season. So that is going to wrap up our volleyball recap for this week, and actually is going to wrap up all of our sports recap from this week. And we want to say again, thank you so much for joining in with us today here on Instant Replay. We've been having a great time, and I've had Lonnie and DJ there behind the glass doing and running my computer graphics for me and stuff. Yes, I love you too, Lonnie. There is no way that I could do any of that stuff. I take one look at their computer screen and I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys got it. So thank you guys so much for doing that. Yeah, congratulations for doing that. Thank you guys so much for helping me out with that and for chipping in to take that role over at behind the glass there with computers and graphics. And now I want to remind everyone that throughout the week, we don't just do this show on Monday and then leave you in the dark throughout the week. We post game recaps, we post pictures, we get post-game interviews with coaches, everything that we can, and we put it all on our social media. First of all, on our Facebook, which if you're watching this show live, you're on this page already, so you might as well go ahead and give it a like. It is at Team FYN Sports. And then also on our Twitter and our Instagram platforms, both are at Team FYN Sports. So you'll want to follow those as well for live score updates from the sideline, especially for some of those big football games this coming week. And then also on our YouTube channel where we upload all of our coaches' interviews and different multimedia highlights and stuff and such. And it is FYN TV, Fetch Your News on YouTube. Go ahead and go on there and subscribe as well. And then you can get notifications for my show and then also for BKP's show that he does every morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Good Morning from the Office. He does an awesome job with that as well. And now I'm going to wrap up the show and close it out with saying that if you have any sort of information that you'd like to share with us, as far as maybe you want to give a shout out to your favorite athlete or your favorite team for all the hard work that they are putting in this season, you can shoot us an email there. It is teamfynsports@fetchyournews.com. So thank you all again so much for tuning in with us this morning. I've had a great time on here. At Team FYN Sports, we are always highlighting and promoting young athletes in a positive way, and that is the whole point of Team FYN Sports. We want to pump up these athletes as much as we can, highlight them when they're doing great, and we try our best to do that. Hope you all have enjoyed the show this morning, and I will see you back here same time, same place next Monday morning, 10 a.m. Also, make sure to tune into our sports show throughout the week, and thank you again for joining us. I'm your host, Lauren Hunter. Have a great Monday, everyone, and also have a great week.